again, boys and girls. We're going to do math. We're going to continue with measuring, and we're going to learn how to measure something else today. First, let's review before we do something new. Good. Okay, if I want to know how long something is, I'm going to measure the length. Length tells us how long something is. If I want to know how high or how tall something is, I'm going to measure the height. Height tells us how high or how tall something is. If I want to measure or know the distance around something, or should I say more so a polygon-shaped area, I'm going to measure the perimeter. That's what you did with the paper clips. You measured the perimeter. If I were measuring the distance around a circular area, that would be circumference. You don't need to know that yet. Okay, and yesterday we measured how heavy things are. If we want to know how heavy something is, we measure the height? No. Length? No. Perimeter? No. The weight? Right. Weight tells us how heavy something is. Good job. Okay, today we're going to talk about capacity. Say that word, capacity. Okay, capacity tells us how much something can hold. You might see, if you've ever gone in an elevator, there might be a little tag or a little sign that says capacity. And that means, it might say capacity 20. So that would mean that that elevator is allowed to hold about 20 people. Sometimes on buses, there's a sign and it says capacity. Capacity might be 50. 50 people are allowed to be on that bus. Sometimes in auditoriums or stadiums, they have a sign somewhere that says capacity. That is how many people can be in that room. Well, we can also do capacity with containers. And you see here I have a variety of different sized containers here. And we're going to compare capacity. We're going to see which has greater capacity, meaning which could hold more, or which has less capacity, which holds less. Okay, so here in this big jug, I have blue food coloring. And now I have it on my hand. I made it blue so that you could see. Okay, so we're going to compare capacity first with this jug that's already filled and this gallon milk jug to see which has greater capacity. Which container can hold more? Oh wait, I just want to make sure you could see. Okay, good. Because Miss Sweeney's got this table back as far as you can and fitting through. Okay, so to do this, it's going to be a little tricky. I wish I had a helper. If we were in school, you guys would be helping each other. Okay, but I'm hoping that at home you can go into recycling and maybe get out some different containers that are clear to compare capacity like this. Okay, you need a funnel because you don't want to spill. Okay, so this one is already filled to capacity. That means it's filled to the top. I can't fit any more. It's reached its capacity. Now, we want to see if they have the same capacity, all of this blue water will fit into here. If this one has greater capacity, if this one can hold more, all of it won't fit in here. So let's see. Okay, when it gets to the top, I want you to yell capacity. That means I can't fit anymore. Did I reach capacity yet? No, I can fit more. I have more room. I yell capacity when I've reached the top of the jug. Okay, let's stop and take a look. We have this much left in the big jug. Do you think this is going to have greater capacity? Will there be water left over? Or do you think they will be equal? Let's see. Which jug has greater capacity? Which can hold more? Okay, this one's empty. Ah, right. You probably thought that because this one looked bigger, they're different shapes, so you can't judge by shape. This one looks bigger, but this one still has room. So which one has greater capacity? Which could hold more? Right, this one can hold more because there's still room. Okay, let's compare more capacity. So this one has greater capacity, it can hold more. This one has less capacity. Want to take this one? Out of these two, we'll compare. So if all of this water fits into this one, then they would have what? Equal capacity. They would hold the same amount. But if there's water left in this one, that means this one has greater capacity and this one has less capacity. Let's check. Which will hold more? Which will have greater capacity? Okay, if it gets to the top, yell capacity so I know to stop. There yet? No, we still got room. Are we there yet? Almost. Let's see how much is left. What do you think? Are they going to have equal capacity, or is one of them going to have greater capacity? That's predicting. Make a good guess. Did you get capacity? I hope so. Great, because I went to the tippy top of that guy, and we still have some left here. So far, this guy has what? The greatest capacity. He can hold all the water that was in here and still have room. Now, when we poured water, the same water, into this jug has the least capacity because this guy still got some left. Wow. All right, how about this one? Do you think, we're going to put that one over there with the leftover. The one that's filled right now, the one that is filled to capacity, that's all it can hold. Do you think all of this water will fit here, making them with equal capacity? Or do you think this one will have greater capacity and this one will have less? Or do you think this will have greater capacity if there's room left? Let's see. Forget to yell capacity. Here, I'll turn it. Let's see. And when I get to the top, you have to say capacity. That means I can't fit anymore. We're almost to capacity. How much will it hold? Did you yell capacity? Okay, let's take a look. We have some water left, so what does that mean? Right, this one had greater capacity than this one. This one has less capacity. It couldn't hold as much. All right, let's do... How about we do this one? They're similar in shape. Okay, so let's see now, if this one that's filled to capacity right now has equal capacity, if this one has equal capacity, if it will take all of this water. Now if you do this at home, make sure a grown-up helps you because the grown-up might have to hold the funnel in the container while you pour slowly. Okay, so we want to see which has greater capacity, which will hold more. let's stop and take a check. Okay, we are not at capacity here. We still have room. We can fit more. It will hold more. Okay, there's still more in this one that we're pouring from. Do you think the rest of this will fit in there? Will they have equal capacity, or one will have greater, or one will have less? Capacity. All right. Woo. I was almost close. Okay, this one has greater capacity. So if you guessed this one, you were correct. But like I said, you can't judge by the size or the shape because that does not determine the capacity. I mean, sometimes it can. We can see clearly that this one is so much smaller than this one. Then this one definitely has greater capacity. It can hold more than this one. But some that are similar in size but could have a different shape could be tricky. All right, how's about we take this one? It's a different shape, similar. See if they are equal capacity or if one has greater or less capacity. Which one can hold more? Ah! I really went to the top with that one. Almost to capacity. How much will it hold? Ooh, almost all of it. So this one has just a little more capacity. This one can hold just a little more because almost all of it fit. So they almost have equal capacity. But this one has greater capacity. It held more. All right. Now let's take this one. Okay, they're about the same height, but they're a different shape. Okay, do you think this will have greater capacity? Will it hold all of this water and still have room? Or will it have less capacity where it won't hold all of the water from this one? Let's see. Look at that. Which one has greater capacity? It took all the water from this one, and it still has room. Right, this one has greater capacity. This one will hold more, because it took all this water and still has room. Let's add the extra water from this one. Go to capacity. How much will it hold? Take to the top. All right, we still got a little more room, so we'll take some from this container till we get to capacity. The maximum it will hold, and we're at capacity. Okay, now what we're going to do is, being that this guy held a lot, we're going to pour his extra in here. He seemed to be the most, he had the greatest capacity out of the smaller containers. Okay, now out of these two containers, do you think this one will have greater capacity, this one can hold more, or do you think this will have greater capacity, can hold more? Or will they be equal? If all of this water fits in here to the top, that would be equal capacity. But if all of this water fits and there's room left, this would have greater capacity. Let's check. You're making good guesses in your head. Don't forget to say capacity if I get to the top. Capacity means I can't fit anymore. What do you think? It's gonna make it? Hope so. Woo! Guess what? What is it? Which is greater capacity? Right, they're equal. They have equal capacity. They will hold the same amount of water. All right, now I'm going to take a couple of these smaller ones. There's a long, skinny one and a shorter, kind of squared one. Okay, I'm going to fill this guy first. Now we know these are similar in shape too. This one definitely has greater capacity. That's not what we're comparing. I'm just taking some of his water. Tell me when I get to capacity. It means it went up as high as it can go. How much will it hold? Say capacity when we get to the top. Ooh, got a little bit more room. Capacity! Okay, now we're going to compare. Which will have greater capacity? This squared one, shorter but squared, or this tall but rounder? Or will they be equal? Let's see. So if all this water fits here perfectly to the top, equal capacity. But if it doesn't fit, that means this shorter one has greater capacity. Almost equal. Almost equal capacity. This one has a little bit left. Alright, now let's take the Gatorade bottle, who is shorter and fatter than this tall, thin guy. Let's see which has greater capacity. If all of this fits to the top, then they would be equal capacity. If all of it fits and there's room left over, that means the Gatorade bottle would have greater capacity. Let's see. And then I'll show you what you're going to do. Hopefully you can do this type of experiment at home so you can better understand capacity. But if you can't, that's okay. That's why I'm showing you. But it is fun. Let's take a check. What do you think? See how much room is on the Gatorade? How much is left? Let's see. Ooh, boy, did I go to the top there. Okay, which has greater capacity? This guy has some left over. Right, this one holds more, which means this one has greater capacity. So capacity tells us how much a place can hold, a container can hold. Okay, so what you're going to do for your practice for capacity is 2 pages in your book comparing capacity, which holds more, which holds less. Ordering capacity, so which holds most, which is in between, and which is the least capacity. And then this one is cool. You can estimate. You look at what's in there already and estimate how many more you can fit of each item. And you're going to do 2 capacity activities on Seesaw that are really fun. So I hope you have a great time exploring capacity. What does capacity tell us? How much something can hold. I'll see you in a little while for religion. I got to get out from behind this table now.